Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Damn. Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
It's the Preston and we're broadcasting coast to coast. Who's the epic villain you miss the most? It's ThATuMBRELLAgUY listening to them crying as they pull the plug because their case is dying. It's falling apart, listen to them scream. Gotta laugh if they're stupid on my next live stream. The down he goes, another lawyer falls. Like reverse Pokemon, you gotta wreck them all. They just got nuked, their case turned to ash. And how they blame the plaintiff and beg the court for cash. And all the excuses, how is any of this real? Big and sanction them, Your Honor, we cannot pay our bills. And for all those reasons and what you said about jail, I'm gonna change my arguments and blame Mr. Hales. Picture a lawyer so corrupt, he lies about proof, about messages, about his own words. He even frames his lawsuits as other people's filings. Why? Because accountability isn't a word in their vocabulary. Who's the epic villain? Broadcasting coast to coast. Who's the epic villain you missed the most? It's ThATuMBRELLAgUy.
What's up, Bogues? How's it going today? Man, welcome to end of the week crazy. And you know, there has been enough crazy through this week. Oh man, I'm telling you, like, you think about this week, think about everything that's happened there, and think, it can't get any crazier, can it? Yes, of course it can. Of course it can. I swear, man, some of the stuff, I'm amazed by it sometimes. I'm amazed by some of the players. I'm amazed by some of the stupid. And I think, really, this can't get any weirder today, can it? But it does. So today, what I'm going to be showing you, man, I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit. Why? Because, well, there's going to be a little bit of tossing somebody under your bus. Now, today are warnings about this coming. Actually, I don't know if you saw let me show you this first. Let me start out my day. Now, today I was not in. I was actually at a doctor's appointment today, and I saw something come up. I saw a short come up today. And I thought, now I've gotten a little bit more context about this sucker. It's pretty amazing. But I saw it. Let me show you. Yeah, let me lock in on it for you. If you haven't seen this, by the way, go and definitely support it. You know, weirdly, sometimes some of this stuff, like the shorts that Hale puts out, sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. Today I actually did get one. If you haven't seen it today, like I said, definitely go check it out. If you have seen it today, go check it out anyway. But, and again, we're gonna we're gonna get into some crazy off of this, but check this out. So listen to this. It's pretty short, but you're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. So let's listen to this.
Annette emailed the courts yet again this morning, admitting that Deuce has been writing her motions, while George and I are at a Friendsgiving in a beautiful house in a beautiful location.
God. Did you hear that, first of all? Now, again, we're going to get more on this in just a second. But you did catch that, right? You did catch that BBB writing her motions. Wow. Now, why would this be important, by the way? Well, first of all, I mean, we have no disclosure over that, but we have this wonderful little lawsuit that kicked off. Now, again, we'll see how the lawsuit plays. I personally think that BBB may have walked himself into a bad one with this, personally, because he decided he was going to interfere into the court. You know, he thought he would write behind the scenes. We've read those. Well, actually, I'll pull up the lawsuit that goes along with this in a few minutes too. You know, that way, just in case anybody's clueless on that, you do know that there's yet another lawsuit. There's a bunch. I thought it was personally deserved, but with LP, you figure there will be deniability. Oh no, Bruce, he was doing this as a concerned person, as a party that he's just trying to take our interests in. You know, I had nothing to do with that. I personally, I had no knowledge of it whatsoever, except she's already written the court too, and kind of backed up what Bruce was saying, you know, that makes it doesn't look good that way, period. And now you're finding out that, wow, he's been for sure writing those motions, which we already knew. I mean, if you look at those motions anyway, you already knew that. You already did. Man, it's wild to think, though. We have admission now that BBB, he has involved himself in this, even though, again, he's not practicing in Florida. He's still, he can't let it go. He is obsessed with Jeremy Hales. It is the craziest obsession I've seen. He becomes obsessed with whomever, you know, with Larry, with Randy, with Jeremy. I mean, you see this strange thing kicking off, right? Let's continue.
What's going to happen to Deuce? Well, he's probably going to be running out on the loose again. My guess is it's just a matter of time, as he's been prepping to run and flee to Armenia again. Deuce is going down. Lynette and Crook are going to be losing their property as well through the bankruptcy court. And guess who's going to buy it? That's right. And guess who the money's going to go to? That's right. And then, because of what we have in Ohio with the civil protection orders, the remaining land, well, they're going to have to get up and run. Here, they're looking for some more freaks in Armenia.
Now, well, we're going to have some more context with this, okay? First, though, I do wonder, like, at what point does Preston think, yeah, maybe these people haven't been good for me either, you know? Maybe the obsession and more, maybe that hasn't been good, especially, you know, the bankruptcy, if it goes this way, and it can, by the way, it can go badly because of the homesteading. I mean, when you look at law, it very well could go poorly for her. If it does, who's she going to blame? She's probably going to blame Jeremy Hales. She's probably not going to blame the guy who told her to go down that road. You know, the guy that was like, yeah, that'd be a great idea to take those $6,000 and not spend them on a lawyer like you were supposed to, but to spend them on a bankruptcy lawyer, you know, where you lose everything. She's probably going to be like, you know what? I need to get out of this thing. Then she's going to find out, yeah, you're probably locked all the way in. And also, when she freaks out about it, she's going to forget the most important thing. Well, they did all of this to write off all of these lawsuits, which they probably can't. All right, well, let's look at this thing. All right. So writing the court. Huh. I wonder what could be going on with all of this. Well, let's check this out. Oh my God, this stuff is so crazy, by the way. So she has decided that she is going to write some fun time stuff. Let's check this out together, shall we? Let's see what kind of stuff could have been written today. I love this story. I'm telling you, I do. I absolutely love the crazy in all of this because you know one of the things that should scare Lynette, by the way, that Hales has been right more than he's been wrong for sure. You know, he's got a pretty good batting average. You know, sometimes I look at something and I think, you know, he said a couple of things because he's trying to get a reaction from idiots that don't disappoint, by the way. But he's been pretty spot on. You know, these people, again, they that's why they do a show that is pretty angry most nights because he's been pretty spot on with stuff. Again, too, Lynette should be really angry. Good God, how many times did they mention? So last night, Megan, by the way, I've been out all day. Okay, I've been at the doctor's having appointments all day long, and it's amazing to me. I just got in. I didn't have a chance to look at the transcript from last night from 2L. While I'm sitting here, I pulled it up and I typed in Megan, and Megan came up like 34 times that I noticed, and that's on the ones that spell correctly. The ones that don't spell correctly, Lord, there could be who knows how many. It's so crazy. 34 freaking times. I mean, oh God, they hate Megan so much. So here, let's check this out. So here's LP, by the way, giving us a little bit of dialogue on, well, let's just check this out. So this is again with the court. They're addressing the court. Bruce Madskin has not pretended to be my lawyer or acted as my lawyer. Okay, well, actually, I would I would disagree in the fact. Well, first of all, Lynette writing the court is pretty wild. You know, her writing it, period, to try to plead her case with the court before any kind of hearing or anything. Like I said, that's pretty wild by itself. But her saying, well, he hasn't done this. What has he done? He's continued to advise us. So Bruce is 100% on the case. He's continuing to advise them behind the scenes. He's telling them what to do, and have maybe ghostwritten a motion at some point to help us. wait, whoops. Wait, what's that again? He did what now? He may have ghostwritten a motion at some point to help them. Okay, that's a mighty interesting admission there. Now, I think it's probably a little bit more than just may have written a ghost written one down. But she's admitting, see, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre how much they tell on themselves. So he may have, yes, he's not her lawyer. He doesn't represent her. He's not acting on her behalf in any way, but he's advising them. Okay. And he's writing motions for them. That's oh my God. You gotta admit that's pretty funny. What exactly does a lawyer do? I mean, again, the obsession with Hales that comes from BBB blows my freaking mind sometimes because he is so obsessed with Jeremy Hales. It's just, it's amazing. You know what we need to do? We read this and then we look at the motions today. We look at the, you know what we haven't really looked at? We haven't looked at the answers. You know, all of her answers and what is it called? Counterclaims. Yeah, that's what we need to look at today, because she claims that somehow, I suppose, she wrote those on her own. You know, that wasn't Bruce at all. Okay, I guess that's what he wrote. Yeah, actually, because again, when you go back to those emails, it's kind of fascinating, because when you go back to the emails and you look at the documentation that is attached there, he attaches something that I think is undisputably his. You know, I think that's actually on the, give me 1 second. Let me look at the complaint. I think that's on the complaint too. Give me 1 minute. I'm just checking to see if it's on the complaint. If it's on the complaint, I'm going to pull it up from there. Oh yeah, it is. Good deal. Good deal. Because we don't need to look at the whole complaint again or anything. What we need to do is look at that part. Good God. Give me a second. I'm pulling that up. I'm marking it, and then we're going to read the rest of this. I'm marking what I want to show you in a minute. Because again, I think that's what they're admitting, that he ghost wrote. It's so bizarre though, because what else? You know, the other filings that people are making. I wonder how many items he is or isn't helping with. By the way, who he is or isn't. You know, it's funny too. You know, it's another funny thing. He's helping LP still, but he abandoned 2L. He abandoned Lisa. So he's obsessed enough to help Lynette Preston to ghostwrite her stuff. But he abandoned 2L, according to her. He doesn't have time for her anymore. That's so good. I love it. You know, he was like, "You'll never get sued. No, 2L. No, Stupid Dave. Nobody, none of y'all ever get sued. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? And if it does, you could write me in as your lawyer to YouTube. Now, write me in as your lawyer to court? Fuck no. You can't depend on me for that. What do you think?" Oh my God. Oh, Lord. So he's more than willing to help out for LP. I wonder still, LP, how much are you still signed on for old Brucey? How much money is he supposed to come off of? God. Anyway, let's continue. He's ghostwritten a motion at some point to help us, but he has not represented us in any way since we released him. Huh. Now, the reason she's saying this, by the way, you have to understand, if you haven't noticed recently for some reason, you know, if you've missed out on some of the new details, it's because they're being sued. They're actually being sued, and they're before Judge Grape. Oh, guess what? By the way, you know the you know the moron quote unquote journalists. You know those idiots that are attached to the ecosystem. Yeah, they've decided. Guess who they've decided to start attacking? By the way, can you guess? Can you guess which judge they think? Hey, it would be really smart to attack under a brand new article. You know, because they attacked Bolitho, and they were like, "Oh, he's an idiot. He's all these terrible things." Who do you think they might attack? Check this out. You would not believe this. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" We'll come right back to this, but check this out. By the way, maybe we'll look at this too. God, look at this. Yep, here's Paint Chips and Friends. They're like, look, oh, it's Judge Grape. Oh my God. That's right. They've decided they're going to target this guy, you know, because that's such a good plan. It's such a smart thing to do. Really piss off that judge. Go for it. That won't, you know, this is what Lynette can't understand. These people, they're writing in behind the scenes. They try to poison the well. Then you have these morons that try to attack this judge. Oh my God. This clown show, you know, ultimately the clown show, unless, I mean, like I said, Bruce has walked a little too far into the whole fray. So he's now in the crosshairs. But the one person that could really be harmed by this stuff is Lynette. I mean, I don't think Lynette really registers how much damage these idiots do to her when they do this kind of stuff. If they end up poisoning this judge against them, you know, if they attack, they can't help. You know, he seems very professional. But, you know, there's a limit that these judges, they're going to have for people doing this kind of stuff. Especially, again, these people, God, they're for hire morons. It's just amazing to me. So, continuing here, though, he's not represented us in any way since we've released him. This, again, is another contrived lie from Mr. Shock It. Shock it, baby. Shock that. And his client, Jeremy Hales. Just to cause more problems and get more content on YouTube. And it has already been broadcasted on YouTube. Okay, well, number one, good job with the Bruce talking points. Bruce doesn't do anything for us. Ma'am, it sounds like right now he's working your mouth like a puppet. I mean, oh my God, Jeremy Hales, YouTube content. God, who have we heard this from before? Bruce. That is his favorite talking point, right? So it's popping out of Lynette right there. You know, it's just mo problems, mo content broadcasted to YouTube. You're allowed, by the way. If somebody's trying to ruin your life, you find out that they've been writing a court behind the scenes, that they were trying to poison the well on you. What would your response be? Would it be to just shut up and pretend that it never happened? Or would it be to potentially, you know, add a little bit of light to that and say, this is why we need to sue again and potentially sue? I personally would definitely want to go with exposing it for sure. So to say that it's a problem to showcase it to YouTube, no, man. What it is it's a problem for Bruce to be writing the court behind the scenes when he is not practicing law and arguing law through emails and more. I mean, my God, you know, it's all Jeremy. Maybe you need to get Bruce in check. I mean, it's wild to me. This is an injustice to the legal system. And to me, it's harassment and it's abuse and it's continuing, and the courts are allowing it. Now, again, she's writing the court. She is not putting in motions. She's doing none of that. She is writing the court out of turn. She is pro se, so she is representing herself, but she is writing the courts, and she is making these comments about Jeremy Hales and about his lawyer. And these, I mean, again, do you think any of this is doing her any favors? I would say absolutely not. Lynette, the one thing that you should have been advised on by your lawyer, by the way, although I guess since them as lawyers, I guess they don't care either. I mean, why would they advise you to do things correctly when, in essence, they've been doing whatever they want to? This is the kind of stuff that can get you in big trouble. Again, Judge Grabe doesn't seem like he's messing around. You know, he doesn't seem like he's playing the game with these people. You are allowing these people to abuse me, to use me, to hurt me, to find me liable, me, and take away my life. Again, if you think there's a problem out there, you know what probably wouldn't help. I don't feel like I'm going out on a limb on this either. You know what probably doesn't help? Blaming the judge and saying, Judge, you and your lack of wisdom, I'm going to question what you're doing here because I know I'm right and you're allowing them to do these terrible things to me. Oh my God. Why would you think this is a smart way to go forward? Take my life away. It's killing me physically. It's killing me physically. Ugh. Well, I would say killing you mentally, but, well, before that, I would want a little proof of life. Oh, my God. It's killing me physically. Oh, my God, man. These crazy people, dude. You know, Lynette, again, you guys, they have all been playing victim lately. We've seen it from every one of them. In fact, I'm starting to wonder some of that is a concerted effort too. You know, you see Leslie first pop up. She's like, I'm the victim, even though, good God, look at the insanity that she engaged in for months and months. It was just nuts. Then you have Stupid Dave, who is like, I'm the victim. And remember Stupid Dave? Remember him promoting bully hunters? Actually, if you want to see just a little bit of that, I posted a little bit of that on Facebook. And there was a lot of promotion. He wanted everyone and their mother to see those nasty ass videos and stuff. He was totally down with the cause. He knew who was doing it too. He absolutely did. They were all colluding on it. But now he's the victim. You know, he also made his own videos, his own middle fingers. And he pretends that you can't make a statement about him. He gets mad about the Whopper statements. Oh, it's something. He's a victim. 2L in the gang. They've been playing victim lately. God, I mean, the stuff they've done, going after advertisers, that alone is beyond messed up. Again, if they were to reverse that, they definitely call it harassment. It's funny, they call a lot of things harassment that are much lower bar than some of the stuff that they've done. I mean, the stuff they've done are woo, man. But let's continue. So it's killing me physically to continue to lie and manipulate that is weird. This is the worst. Look. This makes it sound like Lynette is saying it's killing me physically to continue to lie and manipulate the justice system. Does it not? Like when you read this sentence here, let's read this together and you tell me who it sounds like is lying and manipulating the justice system. Because it most certainly, I don't think, sound very good for her. So look at that. You are allowing these people to abuse me, use me, hurt me, to find me liable to take away my life, is killing me physically to continue to lie and manipulate the judicial system. It sounds like she's saying it's eating me away inside because I continue to lie and manipulate the justice system. Does that not sound like how that reads? Oh my God. If there was ever a time when maybe you should turn off the text to speech portion of the of the assignments and maybe, just maybe, write this out yourself, have AI write it out, maybe this would be the moment. I'm just saying. Probably shouldn't use AI. Probably shouldn't use Bruce either, actually. Probably should write that out on your own, but take your moment. I mean, seriously, you probably should not write the judge. You should leave nothing to chance when you're writing. You shouldn't allow the courts to be confused about it. Because this, again, if these were police officers, they would probably take that right there and say, yeah, she just committed her her crime there for sure. Here's her confessing to it. Oh my Lord. Oh, these people are killing me. I'm asking for you to please put a stop to Mr. Shock. He's just Mr. Shock now, by the way. You know, you gotta put a stop to Mr. Shock, Mr. Buzz. I swear. Just to Mr. Shock. Oh. Does she not reread this at all? You know that after all of this is typed out, she could just sit there and read it. It wouldn't take that long. Again, if I'm writing a court, I could. It's not a Twitter post, all right? It's not a Facebook post. This is your liberty, your economic freedom. It's all right there. Maybe you should take it in more. Just, I don't know. What am I trying to make any kind of sense to these people? But I gotta put a stop to Mr. Shock and Mr. Hales' lies and wrongful attempts to sue this court. Wait, sue this court? I don't think he's suing the court, by the way. You got to stop him from suing the court. Well, hey, I guess we already ended that because I don't believe he sued the court at all. To their side. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. What is that saying? And Mr. Hales and wrongful attempts to sue this court to their side. Well, what in the world does that mean? I swear, I feel like I'm solving the word version of a freaking Rubik's Cube here. You know, well, if I twist this sentence just the right way, maybe I can line up all the words and a secret message will come through. You know, it's probably going to come through. It's probably going to be like written by Bruce. Actually, you turn it a certain way, it'll be like, this really is John Cook. Whoa! You're like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Oh no. I'm not a lawyer, of course. Actually, you are a lawyer, ma'am. In this case, you represent yourself. We call that, what's that called again? Pro se. That's right. So when you're writing the court here, you are, in every manner, you are the lawyer. Oh my God. You're like, I'm not the lawyer. Who is Bruce? Wait, no. Oh my God. This stuff is so crazy. This is all nuts, is it not? Oh my God. I'm not a lawyer, of course, and I don't know how to do these things properly. You know, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. It's not an excuse for when you're talking to the police. It's not an excuse when you're representing yourself in the courtroom. This is 100% how you get yourself into trouble. The courts keep telling Lynette and telling other people that when you're pro se, they judge you just like they would any other lawyer. So you got to remember that, Lynette, when you're writing and you're like, I don't know how to do this properly, so I'm just going to write you out of no. No, you're already being sued over this kind of stuff. You cannot plead ignorance of the law. Oh my God, man. It blows my mind there. I don't know how to do these things properly, but I will be petitioning again for a court-appointed attorney. Okay, that should be fun. By the way, make sure you tell the court about your $100,000 friend. You know, oh my Lord. You know, it would be a really weird strategy. Over the last, I'm going to say, month and a half, we have seen Lynette asking for well over $10,000. Well over that. She asked for $5,000 for an RV. She asked for another, $500 after they were like, well, psych, we can actually afford to get an RV for ourselves. Sorry, we punked you, but we can't have it delivered. We need you to give that money. Then they asked for $7,500, you know, for another lawyer. And they've told you on top of that they're going to open a PayPal pool. I think that's what she's trying to say in one of her posts. Now that alone, those alone are over $10,000 there. They have made so much money through donations. Now, of course, they deny it. They deny it all. You know, I'm curious how the record will reflect. By the way, who's paying the taxes on this stuff, Lynette? Too. That is a really serious question. You know, after you get to a certain level where you've been asking for gifts, after a certain level, you do get some tax consideration on it. We know that 2L did not pay taxes on the money that was collected for the barn dominium. We know that she did not do that. She did not pay taxes on the fence that was installed. She did not pay taxes on the Christmas thing. They told us that. So I wonder, as I watched them pull up all this money asking for things, you know, they haven't come off one dime. Or, you know, again, you can, if you're smart, you could file away all of your income under something, you know, but these people, they don't even try to pay taxes. They don't use the tax code for their benefit. They're just like, I'll never get caught. And somebody's going to get caught. And then they're going to be racing to throw one another under the bus for that too. But anyway, I'll be petitioning again for a court-appointed attorney, because this no longer is a little tiny case of no value. Wait a minute. A little tiny case. Which case are you talking about, by the way, Lynette? Are you saying that the case that you first brought was a little tiny case of no value? Or are you trying to say that the one that you got a default judgment against you, that was the one that was no value? Or are you writing them about the other case that you brought? See, I'm confused because you know when they write, sometimes you're just like they're writing this court and this judge, look at all the stuff that's been in front of him. But remember, it all spawned out of their two cases, the thumbnail case and the trespass 5 case. So were they the cases that have no value? I'm confused. Again, is it supposed to be Granger versus them? Because that's the response back. They're saying that it's no longer. So I guess they're saying the one that's no longer that is the one going after Bruce and the one going after her. It's very confusing. Huh? This is a manipulated scheme. A manipulated scheme. I think it's a manipulation scheme, by the way. If we're going to say it. A manipulation scheme on the part of Jeremy Hales to destroy me and my child and Mr. Cook for content on YouTube. So yet again, she decides out of order to disparage and defame Jeremy Hales to this court, not in a filing, but in yet another attempt to sway the judge and the judicial staff. That's crazy, isn't it? You'd think that she wasn't being sued for doing something just like this already. I mean, it's amazing. It's like she's saying, we've already done this stuff once. Why don't we double down? I mean, well, what can it hurt at this point? But she throws the kid in. I mean, for that, I would definitely. I definitely make sure that that the Judge Grape knew all about that. And I get the feeling Judge Grape will. And I ask the courts to please stop it before yet another person dies. So look, right there, what person has died, by the way? Stark. So this to me is them blaming Jeremy Hales and Randy Shockett, but mostly Jeremy Hales for Stark's unfortunate passing. Now, here's the weirdest thing about that. Who brought the cases in the state court at the beginning? With that lawyer, who exactly brought them? That would be Mr. Stark, right? On behalf of, well, I'm going to say on behalf of Lynette, even though Bruce was part of that too. If we go by that compensation track, well, and when Stark passes, you're saying that somehow Jeremy had something to do with that? That's a really bold claim there, isn't it? Oh yeah, maybe you're right. You're right, Graphics. Maybe it's about her mom. My mom died. My mom didn't die. Maybe she's resurrecting that one. I'm not sure. It's very weird, though, isn't it? It'd be great if they gave her a court-appointed attorney and he said, okay, let's settle it. Yeah. The problem, again, I'm just curious what they'll be able to settle with because, again, bankruptcy-wise, the bankruptcy may well screw them. I mean, I've been looking more into that whole homesteading thing, and that may be a real problem. Like it looks like it could legit be a problem. They like, again, when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that when they brought it up at first, I thought, I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't looked up. So I was really curious about that. I was curious about how exactly, number one, the law read on it. And number two, how a bankruptcy court may react to it. And again, it's a may. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. But law-wise, 100%. I mean, since they have nothing active going on, the way that they're living on the property currently, that isn't their home. They're not homestead. So they've got a problem there. It's a big problem, in fact. That's legit. That is a problem there for real. Like going through. So I was curious about it. So I did two things in it. I wanted to know how that read, but I asked, I don't know if they want me to say who they are. Let's just say I asked an attorney about how that works because I was curious about it. And they were like, oh, yeah, that could be a real problem. It was quite the fascinating conversation. Then I wanted to know how a bankruptcy, it could impact there. So I talked to somebody else about that. They're like, yeah, trustees, they can be pretty hardcore sometimes. Those folks, they definitely they're not your pals. They're there to go by the letter of the law, and they're looking at everything with compensation. And the problem that Lynette has too, I believe, if we've looked at all the filings and stuff, is that her lawyer there, he's very well paid, but he doesn't do anything really. Like the stuff that he should or possibly could do, the things that potentially could fight, he's not doing any of it. So, I mean, that is a problem. But they're saying that they need to stop it before another person dies or physically injured for life because of what they continue to do. What? Wait, who are they? What are they talking about here? This is insanity. This is just absolute lunacy. So you have Lynette Preston alleging that people have died or been physically injured for life. Who are we talking about here? What now? Because she says yet another person. That means that there have been people before. Person or persons. There have been people there before. That has happened to them. So there have been people that have died and that have been physically injured for life. Like, who's the physically Mary? Are they playing the Married to Groot thing again? I swear to God, man. These people. It's amazing. It's amazing that the things that they weaponize. I say, in fact, if they want to blame like Stark on somebody, maybe they should look in the mirror. They took Stark. I think that they whispered a bunch of sweet nothings in his ear. They were like, "You'll get rich. You will get rich." And then it didn't play that way. And then Stark found himself liable. And if he had physical problems, yeah, that would definitely worsen them. But whose fault is that? Is that the guy that they came after? Again, Hales didn't file that case. Hales was just supposed to lay down and take it. That's the thing. You realize that, right? We were all just supposed to, since we all didn't just roll over and start showering freaking Lynette. We weren't like, you've gotten off the pole, but we're still going to throw you singles, lady. No, that's not happening. But anyway, because they continued to do as harassment and cyberbullying and now bullying through the court system. So they're claiming, again, that this right here is all bullying through the court system. This is crazy. She sent this to the court. I mean, can you imagine again? Can you imagine going out of your way to send this? And I'm also going to imagine that they were probably advised. I don't know. Again, I always wonder, there's this wild card in my head, and I wonder about it. And again, I don't know. I can't say. But I also wonder how active the lawyer, I'm going to call the lawyer Jerome because I'm terrible with his last name, you know, but I'm wondering about Jerome, the bankruptcy lawyer. I'm wondering how involved he is. Like, did Bruce tell her to write this? Does Jerome realize what's going on here too? I mean, is he one of the people that is also pushing for that? You know, I got wondering that because of the letters where there was tagging in over and over. So on this as well, you know, she additionally, give me a second. She also wanted to go with reminding the court yet again, you know, instead of doing this the correct way, she wrote, and also was telling them, hey, by the way, bankruptcy stay. So she's writing yet again behind the scenes, not just with that stuff. Hey, by the way, appreciate it. Today on a Friday, one of the crazier days, to live stream, over 2,600 people showed up to participate and watch this craziness. So thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't think I would get back and situated in time. Like I said, I had to go doctor's appointments and all kinds of madness. So I did get in on time. I'm happy there. But if you'd let people know we're live too, I appreciate it. If you, you know, for the algorithm, leave your comment. You know, if nothing else, be like, hey, what's up? Or just, hey, or yo. What is the shortest word you can make? Yo, maybe. But on top of that, if you give a thumbs up, and if you want to go further, you want to help out the channel, you can send ye old chicken skins or ye old breadsticks, whichever you prefer. We need to have a fight with those, you know, chicken skins versus breadsticks. Fight. Oh my God. But no, appreciate you folks showing up. So she also wrote them to advise them yet again that everything has stayed. Now, it's really strange, again, the way that she has comported herself with this stuff, because she's not only doing one thing with it and being like, oh yeah, look at all this stuff I've said. Then after she's writing that, she's telling them, oh, by the way, there's a stay. Well, if there's a stay, first of all, Michelle, if there's a stay, why the fuck are you still writing the court with all this other insanity? Like, I keep wondering that. They keep talking about how there's a stay, right? And how doing all of this stuff is somehow it's wrong. But it's funny. for your cuddly. That's funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, this is very random, but I saw something today. So every time after doctor appointments, I always go by the bookstores, and I always look for the kids, and I look for myself too, you know, because I love to read. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love to read. Well, I was over at Barnes and Noble, and you know those neck pillows, like you drive or whatever, you put the little bitty pillow, you know, right up against your neck. I forget what they call those. It's not the ones that look like a horseshoe shaped one, but the other ones, you know, they make them look like certain things like logs or whatever. Well, apparently Barnes and Noble, they've decided to liquidate all of those they have. They were like $30 when they pulled them up, right? Now they're selling them for $3. So I like those things. I think they're funny. I bought a couple because the kids, you know, they love to, when they're riding their car, they love to put them behind their heads. But $3, man, you cannot beat that. So I'm just letting you know, if you have a Barnes and Noble near you, maybe you should check those out. You know, is that random? Yes. Is that totally off topic? Yes, but still, I need to let you know that. All right. So she writes in and she tells them, I will remind the court that an automatic federal stay is in effect as of October 10th due to the bankruptcy. So why are hearings still being set and motions filed? Why are you writing the court over and over again, Lynette? Why are you doing all this crazy shit? When at the same time you're like, you know what? None of this should be happening. It's so weird. Is it not? It's so weird. Thank you, Tinsel. I appreciate that. You know, all you folks. Like I said, I very much appreciate you all. You all have allowed, again, whatever indulgence or entertainment that I find, whether it's been a Hollywood case, this crazy case. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. You know, I think this case is going to get crazier. I think you're going to see the bank. I can't wait to see how the bankruptcy thing turns. I never thought I would want to know how a bankruptcy turns out ever in my life. Did you ever think when you sit down that you would be like, man, I wonder how this bankruptcy is going to go? But I really want to know now. I want to know. I'm curious how not listing a lot of the property that you have and pretending, you know, that it belongs to your turtle rescue, because that's what she's posted before, saying, you know, on YouTube that all of that stuff, you know, it belonged to her turtle rescue. Although weirdly enough, it all belonged to her turtle rescue, but she sold off one of her machines, one of the $500 machines, and used it for herself. You know, that was personal property. Like, how do you explain that? But I digress. But I'm curious how that'll turn out. I'm curious how the land thing, again, I think the land thing, if it goes the way it might go, my God, Lynette, again, I've tried to tell you over and over, she thinks, you can see her post about it, and she thinks we're the enemy. You know, myself, Megan Fox, Rosalind Duke, all of us are the enemy out here. And we've consistently said this is a bad move. Again, do I think she's right? No, absolutely not. But we have advised her not to go down these roads. And if they go badly for her, if she ends up with, you know, losing, she's right there on the cusp of losing this thing that shouldn't even be in play. The property at this stage, it could be in play later on, but at this stage, her moves directly put it in jeopardy. And the people that she brought in, they put it in jeopardy because it's their plan. They also didn't follow through with the money thing. I mean, it's, wow, God, I love this stuff. So I've never thought in my life that when I'm seeing them talk about, oh man, there's an automatic stay, I'm like, I wonder how that's going to turn out. Now, what do you think the court would say to this? What do you think the court said? Just guessing. Well, what do you think the court's going to say? Let's see. The court, she's like, I don't have to do anything. I don't need to be part of this stuff. You know, the court is like, yeah, you know what? All this stuff is going to be addressed in December. You need to be here. All parties. That includes you, lady. You better be here too. She's like, I don't have to be here. There's a stay. And the court is like, that's interesting. Well, you can tell us about it when you're here. It's so good. Oh my God. It's pretty funny. You have to admit that is pretty funny. Now, how will any of this stuff turn out? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sitting on the sidelines watching it play out just like the rest of you. Now, as far as, again, the reason that all of this has come up is because, one second, let me pull this up. Remember, you had a new complaint that was launched. Now, that new complaint, by the way, it is a kind of fascinating complaint. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed looking through it because it's got all the emails and everything else. But here, let me pull this up here. 1 second. I'm going to show you the documents that she was talking about. But in this complaint again, you know, they're talking about essentially, hey, Bruce, this guy, he's writing in talking about stuff where he's not. Again, he's an attorney in Connecticut and Massachusetts. He can't practice in the state of Florida. He's not admitted pro hoc vice. He knows, by the way, how pro hoc vice works because he's done that before. But despite all of this stuff, he's engaging in unauthorized practice of law in Florida by representing defendant Preston. Now, that's why she's saying he's not our lawyer. Oh, yeah, sure, he's ghostwriting and he's doing this other stuff, but he's totally not our lawyer, right? What he has been doing, and it's undeniable, is he's been sending numerous emails to the court, to the judge, that again, the pet quote-unquote journalist, I do that with air quotes here, journalists. Yeah, they the ecosystem has started now targeting with, but we got to see all of those. Now, as part of one of those, let me scroll down. I don't want you to have to watch me scroll. That's why I turned the thing off. Now, as part of that, interestingly, Bruce decided that he would attach different motions as part. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the email where he attaches all this stuff. Okay, because this is I'm going to read it to you and I'll show you the attachments where, again, she said, well, he may have ghostwritten something. Well, he wrote this, and it, again, attached to it, he has all these filings. He said, Miss Thomas, once again, I alert you to the error in the entry of default. The order for default entered September 20th is based on the following finding. Quote, number 7, the court further finds that despite proper notice, defendant has failed to file or serve any responsive pleading or otherwise defend this action. Now, obviously, this is incorrect, as the docket shows answer, defense, and counterclaims filed September the 15th. Did Mr. Shockett draft that order as well? If so, you know, again, he's taking shots at the court for it. If so, he purposely included this false finding for the judge's signature. If not, then he is free of blame in this instance, unlike in the other matter in which he made a sanctions order based on falsely including in the order that Miss Preston, quote, completely failed to appear, unquote, for a noticed deposition when, in fact, he had advance notice and chose to incur the cost of a court reporter just so he could make a motion for sanction. Extremely upsetting that even after filing her pleading, you know, again, you can see this sounds very much like someone's lawyer writing the court and writing them out of school, right? Well, on top of that, again, you know, it's mo stress, mo YouTube content, you know, when will this be removed? Well, on top of it, we have attachments. We have the, of course, the order granting motion for judicial default. Now, this is what a lawyer would do, by the way. This is exactly how a lawyer would play this. A lawyer would attach the motions they're talking about. You have the order granting motion for judicial default, which he's complaining about. But then he attaches this. This answers defenses and counterclaims. You know, wherein they go through, they give answers to specific items, you know, the allegations therein. They go through their defenses and then their counterclaims. Let's look at their defenses, by the way. This, again, you tell me, is this what was quote unquote ghostwritten? Because I really am having trouble figuring out what else would have been ghostwritten. You know, she did disclose, by the way, that some of these documents here, they were written with assistance from a free attorney. I think that's how she said. Let me see. Is this the one she made that claim on? Give me 1 second. I'll come right back to this. You know, yeah. So in this, look, she writes on this filing. Check this out. On that filing, she wrote that it was prepared with the free assistance of a lawyer. So this is the document that he helped write. You know it is. You know it absolutely is. So this is what she's admitting to him, right? It's amazing because in this, not only do you have some of the stupidest arguments that you've ever seen. The Trespass 5 is such a garbage filing. You know, he's trying to reuse it, but you're finding out that where there was help preparing it, he's admitting that Trespass 5, it was engineered by him. So let's again read these wonderful defenses that may have gotten her in, well, a little bit of poopy. Let's check this out. So the defenses. Oh, this is amazing. By the way, this is what they're hinging their entire defense against the Grangers on. The plaintiff's claim is not ripe because the underlying action did not terminate in their favor to give rise to standing for malicious prosecution claim, since it was voluntarily dismissed without prejudice and there was no litigation of the merits nor any court finding or adjudication of the issues whatsoever. Yeah, they just wait around, they make you spend tens of thousands of dollars, and they're like, hey, you can't recover any money. Yeah, it sounds like Bruce, right? It sounds like a Bruce argument, yeah. The claims in the underlying action that was voluntarily dismissed were and are meritorious. What? How did they have merit since you didn't follow through, by the way? It's so weird to be like, oh yeah, the claims we had, they have merit. We just dropped the lawsuit because, you know, things. So dumb. The claims in the underlying action that were voluntarily dismissed are being refiled now as counterclaims, demonstrating the absurdity of the plaintiff's claim. So now they get to go after the whole Trespass 5 thing, which I think is great, because I really want them to try to tell the court how the Grangers and these others, they were involved in what sounds like a loony bin conspiracy. Remember, the whole idea is that Jeremy Hales, he somehow puppeteered this thing that they don't even sue him over, by the way. That the Grangers, they get their strings pulled, they go and they dance under the property. A freaking deputy, they get sued as well. It's the stupidest arguments. But a claim voluntarily dismissed under 1.420 without prejudice as a matter of law does not give standing for a claim of malicious prosecution, or it would cause that specific to have the opposite effort of its purpose. Again, I'm not reading everything here, but you can tell, like, he went out. What did he imagine through this? Well, he decided, again, he was going to say, imagine Bruce saying this stuff, because this is what he's, I guess, ghostwriting. So again, think about what ghostwriting means, dude. Let's look up the term ghostwriting. Let's actually look that up, because this is what Lynette admits to, that Bruce is quote unquote ghostwriting. Let's look up ghostwriting. Ghostwriting. Let's see. Let's go with meaning. 1 minute. Ghostwriting is writing material for someone else who is the named author. So you think about that. What she admits to when she says that this was ghost written, it wasn't they had it help preparing it. Saying it's ghost written means that another person wrote it for you and that you slapped your name on it. Not a good word that I would want to utilize when I'm talking about someone. Yeah, sure, they gave me a little bit of advice on something. That's a big difference when you're like, hey, they advised me on a few things. Sure, they're not my lawyer. They just wrote my entire thing and I slapped my name on it. I got credit for it. That doesn't sound good, does it? That sounds kind of bad. So when you think about that again, and you start looking at the filings here that were prepared with the assistance of, no, they didn't assist. They ghostwrote it. They wrote the whole damn thing. That's what you're telling me, and you just slapped your name on it. Wow. So, they go through this whole argument again. August 11, 2024, Preston was at her property with her 4-year-old. The Grangers, they arrived unannounced, accompanied with 3 individuals and a sheriff deputy. And they informed her they were there to retrieve an RV and other property supposedly belonging to a person, Lloyd Campbell, who had temporarily resided on Miss Preston's property in his RV, but was at the time convalescing in a nursing home. Now, when I read this again, I noticed his RV. You notice they give away the game right there. They say that he was temporarily residing, or he temporarily resided. So he was there. He lived on the property in his RV. So Bruce, right off the bat, he throws the case away too. Isn't that amazing? What do you get when you have somebody write you a free filing? Well, you get the effort you would expect for free. Miss Preston vociferously objected. That's right. To this unexpected intrusion. But the sheriff's deputy allowed the Grangers and the others onto our property, where they began freely roaming around. Now, Miss Preston and HG were terrified and intimidated by having 5 people and an armed sheriff deputy suddenly appear, disrupt the precinct privacy, and invade their property. Now, while on the property, Miss Granger, she wandered around, taking video, a private location, even threatened to video HG until Miss Preston took action to shield the child. What craziness. This again, it sounds like Bruce wrote it, does it not? Like when you look at it, does this sound like something that, first of all, can you imagine Lynette using the word vociferously? Can you imagine that word coming out of the woman's mouth? I mean, just think about it. Just really think about that for a moment. I mean, think about her sitting down and drafting this. And you tell me, like, what part of this did she supposedly assist with? Besides the part where you sign your name. What part did she make in here? Where did she write? Now, again, this could be her narrative, but what part did she help write out? Miss Preston felt helpless and violated and was terrified that her daughter would somehow be harmed in the events prior to the unannounced invasion of her property. By the way, Bruce used this a lot. He used invasion of property. Like he returned to that over and over. So just a note with that. But prior to that, there was no prior attempt at communication. But you don't have to. But again, you see him. And again, I'm not going over it and trying to read this whole thing to you. What I'm trying to point out here is name the part in all of this that he didn't write. Because essentially what it looks like we have here is we have Bruce being obsessed and vindictive. And despite the fact that he is no longer on the case because he had to bail In fact, I would love to have been a fly on the wall and saw how he approached Cook and he approached Preston with Fed 1, where they were abandoned, by the way. They probably are still in denial. They probably still think that Bruce somehow helped him in that case, because it's paused. They haven't lost anything yet. But they will. But I wonder how that conversation went. I'd love to be on a fly on the wall and listen to it. But you can see, again, the counts, how they're put together, what they try to note. What exactly did Miss Preston write in here? What was her contribution? See, it blows my mind when you look at this stuff. Now, the other thing, while all this is going on, check this out. So, again, the puppet journos, I love it when they pop up because they're so dumb sometimes. While all this is going on, they decide to write this. And I'm sure that they're not taking direction from anyone, right? Wink, wink, wink. I always like looking at who likes these things too. They manage, by the way, with their stupid articles, they manage sometimes 5 likes, maybe. This time they've, I think, managed 5. Who is one of them, by the way? Marla Hughes. Sock accounts and Marla Hughes. It's so funny. 5 likes. Let's see. Paint Chips, Volpe, Marla Hughes, and sock accounts, probably. That's your 5, I bet. But you can see them. They take aim at, again, a grave. It's a foolish judges, clerks, and lawyers create polymops. Whose word is that, by the way? It must be weird to be puppeteered like this. These people, they claim that Jeremy Hales has this conspiracy where he pays people off and stuff, and yet they adopt the dumbest terms ever. And they've got to think that these are dumb too. Who in their right mind would adopt something like polymop without being paid to do it? Holy God. Yeah, exactly, Pickle Tink. What is Lynette's contribution? Her signature. Exactly. But foolish judges, clerks, and lawyers help create polymops. A Florida judge let a lawyer write his order. Chaos ensued. A Florida judge was too lazy to write his own order. His clerk couldn't read the docket, while lawyers made foolish decisions. This sounds like, my God, man. This is for real. This is legit what they try to pass for journalism. They put the judge's face up here and they're like, Judge Grabe. Oh, he continued the troubling practice of judges letting lawyers write his orders. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The result of all of this was polyflop. Which favored Jeremy Hales? Oh my God. Is he promising them like how do you get a bunch of idiots to adopt that? Like what would be your price range? Let me ask you guys that. How much money would it cost you to adopt made up fantastical terms like polyflop? I mean, Lord, dudes, it's so embarrassing. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be bad because Bruce is looking at potential trouble for this stuff now. But after nearly a year of covering the unethical tactics of Hales, his strategy is clear. Oh, so much litigation that there's content forever. You know what? It's been more like this. there's so many morons that gather around Hales. they're like not flies. At first I thought flies, but I thought, no, they're more like mosquitoes. You know, they want to sup on the lifeblood of his channel. They want to get a little bit of that greenback, that moolah, you know. And I could cover them forever because they're all idiots. And laughing at them, man, that really is a fun time job. You know, it is very fun. But they write a whole freaking article about the stupidest stuff ever. Again, these are idiots that all you would have to do is look up any of these cases, which you're talking about, looking up the two moronic ideas. But they talk about, again, these are aborted lawsuits. They're like, oh, well, those are aborted, they're garbage. And after they're aborted, oh, the grand jury conveniently found the alleged defamatory signs too. Oh, they're convenient. And of course, they note that they accuse Hales of ARP and other things because they've got to get that into their defamatory stuff. By the way, they, of course, since the guy that is at the center of this, you know, the guy that brought them in, he hates other people. Who else does he hate? Let's see who they've worked in here. Who's his most hated list? Well, of course, we have Shockett. We have Hales, but who else? Oh, look, there's Larry Foreman. Of course, you got to work Larry in there too, because why not? I mean, doesn't have a thing to do with him. Not at all. But then what's amazing about this is how stupid these idiots are, because they write off the whole chain of events that set things off too. You know, they're like, well, essentially, she had filed for bankruptcy. This is supposed to stop everything. But her poor unfortunate little lawyer, he misses a wee little deadline. And the judge allowed a conference. Oh my God. Oh my God, how dare he? And when he did, Shockett creates polyflop. But they go through this whole stupid thing. Again, I'm not gonna read this whole stupid thing. Maybe one day we should, you know. But when they go through it, these idiots, they try to play around and pretend that Bruce writing these emails, that's not a problem. Oh, he fires off this series. Oh, he's just pointing out something. It's not a big deal. But, and again, look at this. Look, they got to work in Megan Fox. Why? Because they hate her. They hate Megan. You knew they got to work her in here, even though there's no reason for it. And of course, 5 likes still. Let's see if the likes are. Let's check it out. Of course, you have the people that are responsible for it. You have Marla. It's probably, like I said, it's probably Marla and those two repeatedly. But their plan, again, is, you know what we should do? We should double down and defame Judge Graves. That's their plan. That's lunacy, man. That is absolute lunacy. This judge, man. It's just like, again, this could have been dealt with in federal litigation. They could have stopped this kind of stupid. But these people, they just become emboldened. It worked in federal court. They could get it to work in state court, right? And they continue these insane actions. And when you start looking at it, you know, you start questioning why the hell courts would allow these people just to run amok, because they don't just run amok outside of it. Yes, you can have opinions and run amok outside of it, but they run amok within it. So let's I thought about going over Dave's stuff today, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go over. I think I'll go over that tomorrow. You know, we have the weekend to catch everything up. When I saw this stuff, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Did she really just throw Bruce under the bus and admit that Bruce, he is responsible for a bunch of this stuff? Wow. That's amazing, isn't it? You have to admit, that is pretty freaking amazing. All right, let's go through some super chats. 1 second. Oh my God. I'm amazed, by the way. I'm amazed by some of this. All right, let's go. Coyote Bait. What's up? Thank you for that membership there, too. Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tux Thugs. Appreciate you, Coyote Bait. Thank you. Fallen Hero, my friend, drops that super sticker. Oh my God, I think I heard a noise. Let me wait just a second. Let me see what this weird noise is. What? I think there's someone lurking inside of my stream. No, they left. Megan Fox popped in behind my scene. I was like, what is she doing there? What in the world? She popped up on here and then she left. She didn't even come on. She's like, boop, I heard it pop up and then she left. What in the world was that, Megan? What in the world was that? She did. She didn't. It's the cricket. That's what it was. It was Germany cricket. He actually tried to pop in. No, I heard you've got you get a little sound behind the scenes. It goes boop. Well, like when somebody comes in, and I heard the little sound thing go off. Boop. And then Megan was behind that, and then she was like, whoops. And then she left. I was like, what in the world? This was very weird. She's lurking behind the scenes. Oh my God. Megan clicked the wrong button. As long as it's not the channel killing button. Yeah, she clicked the wrong button on her phone and entered. All right. Fallen Hero, man. Thank you for the super sticker there. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Jack's mom, thank you for that gifted membership. Thank you, Jack's mom. That is awesome. I appreciate you. It's good to see all of you too. That's one reason I enjoy having these, because I get to hang out with you all and laugh about the stupid that came up on the day. Was missing. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership and welcome also to Tux Thugs. Thank you there. Appreciate you. Thank you all for backing the channel and helping out too. That's awesome. Who's down under? Thank you for the 2 there. The wheels on the bus roll over BB. Oh man. BB broken. Yep. It sounds very uncomfortable when those wheels on that bus, they roll over you. Max Lab, thanks for the 2 there. Haters are already attacking me, sadly. Oh, you talking about channel-wise? Hey, man, you know what, brother? That's what comes with YouTube. That's how it works, man. You're going to be attacked. People are going to, they're going to mock you no matter what. They will. They will find something. Ultimately, what they're doing is they're probing for something on your Max Lab. They're probing for the thing that they can upset you with. That's why when you do this stuff, you become stone, man. Who cares? Who cares what if you're happy with yourself, then who cares what anyone else has to say, man? That's the way I look at it, because otherwise, these people, you will get torn down by folks. They will attack you. They will attack you for anything. You could be freaking supermodel. You could have fat stacks. You could be 6'6". Oh no. Megan pops in again.
was popping in at just the right time to show you something that you were talking about, but my headphones weren't working and I couldn't hear you. So I had to restart everything. And
I was like, what was that? I thought you
I
got
know.
lost on the way
No,
to
I
the
would have
market
been
or
in
something.
just at the right time, and then I had to restart everything. But I have something to show you guys because you were talking about, the Lynette's filing was complaining about, or Bruce, sorry, the idiots were complaining about the judge allowing Randy to write an order.
Yeah.
That is completely ridiculous, and it just goes to show that they have no idea what they're talking about because this is done all the time. Judges ask lawyers to write orders whenever they have decided, hey, I'm going to order this thing. I don't have time to write this because it's very usual. So the winning lawyer who's getting the thing they asked for gets told, send me that order.
Sure.
I invite you to write that order. And I have proof of this. I have proof because guess what? It's on film. It's literally on film. This is how stupid these so-called journalists are who say they follow court cases. They have no freaking clue that judges order lawyers all the time to write orders.
Yeah, well, you understand when they say they follow court cases, they're like the ambulance chaser version of following something,
Yeah.
It's kind of like the, I hate to call them sharks. They aren't really sharks. They think they are. But you know how you have sharks and other assorted sea life.
I always
loud.
Oh my God. I always forget that your thing pulls it up immediately.
Holy God, that's loud.
That was loud. It gets a lot less loud, so we have to keep it up at that annoying rate because it gets really still. Sorry. I
just got me. I was like, what in the world? Because I wasn't looking at it.
Well, it's because Ram Saran is in a bathroom and he's echoing all over the place, but nobody else can be heard. His microphone is the only one that's super loud, and everyone else is really, really quiet. So sorry about that. I always forget that as soon as I pull something up, it throws it on the screen in the studio. I hate that setting. It's terrible. All right.
I think it's funny though. Like he decided, you know what would be good? I'm going to go over to my local bookstore's bathroom. He's probably
in the Barnes and Noble,
yeah,
Barnes and Noble bathroom.
Yeah, they got free Wi-Fi there.
God, it could be McDonald's.
Oh my God, that would be really funny.
It would be.
Like while he's filming, some dude wanders in and you hear like water run. Exactly. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Like,
all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I found the moment in this hearing where the judge orders Randy, tells him, I invite you to file the order, because I'm going to grant it. And we have to back up a little bit to where he tells Lynette, this is what's happening and why. And then he's going to turn to Randy and say, please do this. Now, here we go.
For judicial default, Mr. Shockett, I would be inclined to grant it if the 20 days have gone by.
Okay, I'll do that.
And then we would probably be right to have the hearing on the costs and the fees.
Okay.
Your Honor, my lawyer died. I have no understanding of any of this, of what's happened. No one has kept me abreast of the case because Scott died, and the bankruptcy I thought was filed, and then a mishap happened, and then he refiled it. So I don't know why you would hold me like that for that when this is like really a bad deal.
Well,
okay, so just to make sure you heard that, he first said, Mr. Shockett, I'm inclined to grant that, the default, because nothing has been responded to. And then she interrupted him. And as soon as he finishes telling her what's what, he's going to turn back to Randy and say, file it. Here we go.
Me.
the fact of the matter is, Ms. Preston, I understand you're not a lawyer.
No.
But if you don't have a lawyer on your case, I've got to hold you to the same standard I would hold a lawyer to. That's just what the law says. So it's incumbent upon you, ma'am, to get legal representation if you want to defend against this, or you have to do it yourself in a pro se capacity, which is what you're doing here today. But in the absence of that, I've got to go forward with the matter. And if under the appropriate rule of civil procedure, if the time for you to respond has elapsed, and you have not filed a written response, Mr. Shockett is correct. He would be legally entitled to a default on the merits on that case.
I'm not sure if a response was made to his word. I have no idea. I don't know how to get a hold of any paperwork from my case because he died.
Yeah. The only thing I'd suggest to you, ma'am, is to find another lawyer, okay? Because you're probably in over your head here, to be candid with you.
Oh, I'm assured.
So I would invite you to go ahead and file that pleading, Mr. Shockett, if you would.
There it is. I'm going to invite you to go ahead and file that pleading, Mr. Shockett. And it's not it's a pleading, but it's an order. He's filing he's inviting him to write the order that the judge is going to sign.
You know what's weird about what was just claimed? I didn't think about this before, but what case are we talking about?
The
what case is
thumbnail.
this?
Well, no.
Well, they're talking
the
about
Granger.
Yeah, they're talking about the Grangers and their lawsuit. Stark, was he part of that?
No, I'm not sure that she had representation when the Grangers sued her.
Yeah, so
did she ever put a lawyer on the record for that
no,
one?
not that I remember. Not that I remember at all. So for her to say my lawyer died, I need to get filings and stuff. That's a bunch of garbage anyway.
That's not even true.
Yeah, he was never part of this case to begin with.
That's right. He was part of the original case that was filed against the Grangers, but he was never part of the case that the Grangers filed against her.
So she's 100%. She's not only in the wrong, she's throwing blame at a dead man who was never part of the case.
That's right. Yes, chat. This hearing was for both the thumbnail case and the Trespass 5. But I don't know. They're talking about specifically right now the Trespass 5, the one Grangers.
They're talking about the spinoff lawsuit. They're talking about the Grangers versus Preston.
Right.
So in that, I mean, specifically because they're talking about the default judgment there. So they're specifically talking about that. They're not talking about anything else that was involved. So for her to bring up Stark and throw him under the bus, being like, I have no idea, he died. Well, yeah, but he wasn't part of that lawsuit to begin with. What's up?
No, and here you can see the judge is ordering Randy, file it. I'm going to sign it. And he did. That is not unusual in any way. It is not scandalous. It is not. Well, I just heard you reading that thing that idiot wrote. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Judges order lawyers to write orders all day long. Do you think a judge has time to write a 1-page order for 8,000 cases a day? Like how many cases a day is this guy seeing? At least 20. He may have to write 20 orders a day. And the way that they keep the judges from having to write all that so they can keep up with their schedule is they tell the lawyers, draft the order and submit it. Then the judge will look at the drafted order and he will read it and he will either sign off on it or he will make changes to it if he wants changes to it. It doesn't mean just because you're telling the lawyer to draft the order that the judge is going to automatically rubber stamp it. Right. Without looking at it. In fact, that's how Lips got into trouble in one of her cases. Remember that? Where the lawyer drafted the order, gave it to the judge changed it. Remember, the judge put some other stuff in it and then put it on the record, and Lips accused the opposing counsel of fraudulently manufacturing a judge's order. She got referred to the bar for that because she didn't understand how it works either.
It's just amazing how inept some of the actual lawyers are on this. Speaking of Lips, man, I need to send something over to myself from a posting I saw earlier today talking about one of her cases. Her cases don't seem to be, she doesn't seem to be having a fun go either. No wonder she doesn't want anybody talking about her.
Yeah, I noticed some people sent me some clips from the Fleas last night. They are trying to say, one of the mods said, oh, I saw her. She showed some videos that look really, really fake. I think they're fake videos. And even Fleesa couldn't go with it. She was like, well, I've seen some of her videos. And, that one was just like, role play, adult role play. So they're not even, she can't even deny it. Of course, it's ridiculous.
They're all
Of course
real.
they're real.
They're 100% real.
If
But,
they were doctored, they were doctored by Leslie because they were all taken off her own TikTok page.
yeah, you can see. Well, that's the thing. Like, you recorded the page itself too, so they showed. But these idiots, like they keep running deflection for horrible people. I mean, they run deflection again for a fucking extortionist and a international fraud. You know, one that again should be against the guardianship stuff they decry. They've done it for other felons. I mean, they've got 3 people that have been in trouble with the law, like serious issues. And then they have other people, you know, that have had, I don't want to minimize what they've done, but they've had their problems too. It's wild to me. They're
It is
all
wild.
like,
And I also want to say that she brought up, Felisa brought up my husband again last night,
I heard
threatening
that
to
too.
go after my husband again because we've mentioned Federigos's husband, Michael Federigos. By the way, Felisa, listen to me closely. Michael Federigos brought a lawsuit against me. Did my husband bring a lawsuit against you or anyone you know? No, he did not. And if you attempt to go after my husband, it will be the thing you regret the most in your life. You think it's bad now, you just wait. You try to go after my husband, you or any of your disgusting scumbags, try to go after my husband. Go ahead and try. It will be the last thing that you do that you remember when you look back at that you go, I really wish I hadn't done that. My husband has done nothing to any of you. He's not involved in this at all. Leslie Federigos' husband, on the other hand, sued me. He sued me. He sued Tug. His name is on the filing. He contacted me. Don't you dare start talking about my husband. He's done nothing. He's not a part of this, and he has nothing to do with any of you. Anyway,
Leslie
he wouldn't
brought
care
up
either.
him in a song talking about how he spit in her face in front of her children.
Yeah,
And all of
Leslie put
this.
him in that song.
Yeah,
She
that's
did
it.
that.
It's her. That's what I'm saying. Like, straight up, she did that.
Are
So
you suggesting
again,
that somehow I went to Leslie's house and recorded them in a fight and then I made that terrible song with them in the fight? It's ridiculous. She did that. Ask her.
it's so amazing. Oh my God. Hey, can you hold this for 1 second? Let me grab some while you're
Sure.
here. All right. You rant
Honest-
for a minute.
Honest to God,
Rant.
though, you start talking about my husband again. He has nothing to do with any of this. Nothing. Our families have nothing to do with this. Leslie's family, Leslie's husband has come after us. Leslie's husband put his name on the lawsuit. Where have you ever seen my husband's name except for when your scumbags doxed him? He does not have an online presence. He is not part of any of this. The idea is disgusting because Michael Federigos has entered into this fray. He's in it. He's in it. He sued me. He put his name on a lawsuit. He emailed me a ridiculous cease and desist. Now, if my husband had been doing that to any of you, you would have the 100% green light to do whatever you wanted to do. But you have not been contacted by my husband. And you don't want to be either. Just saying. Just saying. Don't do it. I feel like we give good advice here and nobody ever takes it. And if they really want to go down that road, it's going to be bad.
They were also bringing up kids and everything else, man. Gross little weirdos.
I didn't hear any of that part, but I heard that they were talking about it. What did they say? What did they say? Tell me.
I haven't gone through everything yet. I don't know. I've got to go through it all. I know they brought you up 37 times. I think it was
37 times.
I'm sorry, 34. 34 that show up as your name, but I'm sure that's just on your name hit. And you know, Mushmouth. You remember you're demonic. You're demonic.
Yeah.
You're like just sick and demonic.
Sure.
Because, oh yeah, my favorite thing is that not only is Felisa a lawyer, but now she is a mental health practitioner. And she was out there wrongly telling people, I'm going to
Didn't
quote
she
this.
say that? Okay, go ahead.
Bipolar. That's, according to her, this is her wording. She said it's not a mental illness. it's a mood disorder. And I heard that and I was like, you idiot. You realize that a mood disorder is a category of mental illness.
Oh, God. What an idiot.
I mean, this is the kind of shit you cover in like Psych 101. I mean, this is the most basic, like fundamental. So not knowing that, oh God, quit having AI like tout you and tell you you're the greatest. You should talk about how you're a lawyer and you're a psychiatrist. Oh my God. Oh, it hurt me. Oh, by the way, I saw this post. It did hurt my brain. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Check this out. So here, I want to give Susan, by the way, props. Definitely over on Otter Creek, Tubetown. Some of these.
Susan is awesome. Susan
yes.
keeps up with all of this. I love Susan's posts.
I do too.
Good job, Susan.
She has some very informative stuff. She's very good.
She does.
This yet another person. Like again, there are certain people I really appreciate. I appreciate Melissa, Susan, and I forget. Sometimes like Susan, I forget to throw you in there. So apologies because I do enjoy your posts. But she was like, "Well, it was a good run. You have lips and chips. They managed to evade service for foreclosure action on Michael's rental property for about 2.5 months. They were served via publication. I wonder whether that's happened before. And an affidavit of publication was filed by Freddie Mac on November the 10th, 2025. Responsive pleading is due by December the 1st. Note, Lips and Chips have not made a payment on their mortgage since April 1st, 2024. No wonder.
And I found out it's on both houses. So they have another one going on the one that he owns just in his name. So they're being thrown out of both.
Yeah, they're in trouble. That's why just maybe, this is why they got involved in all of the Hale stuff. Everybody's gone after money. They keep trying to grab it, but maybe this is why.
Yeah, possibly. Also, they're definitely they have a desperation thing going on for the money. And I'm sorry to see any family losing their home. We did find out, I told you I spoke with Leslie's father, and he told me that he helped them purchase that home. They also helped them get the mortgage with Seacoast. That was their banker. So imagine how they feel too with their personal banker that they, got to give them this loan, has to go after them and sue them, is very embarrassing for them. Again, just the stuff they've had to go through with her is incredible. I don't know where they're going to end up because she's alienated her family. So she's got no place to go there. And she's alienated him from his family. She's cut him off from his family, as you could see through the last lawsuit against the families.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be his family. He doesn't speak to them either. So I don't know what's going to happen to them. I hope for their children's sake, they land on their feet.
I had today I went over, by the way, I had my doctor's appointments, and on the way back, I went by, there's a pet rescue that I really like on the way back. They have all kinds of wonderful things like, I have dogs and cats. So of course I go in there and I get a snake.
Of course you do.
Look at him. He's so pretty.
What's his name?
I haven't named him yet. I figured the kids.
What kind of a snake is it?
That is a banded king snake. It is the nicest one I've ever seen, by the way. It's just curious. It wants to, it rolls around. It allows you to pick it up, and it doesn't even care. Yeah, some of them get like, they're like, get off me, basically. But this one's like, who cares? Pick me up, Yeah, I'll sit with you. Who cares?
Yeah, he's really pretty.
Yeah,
I always kind of wanted to have a snake, but I'm too scared to get one. I was always too scared to get one, but I think snakes are really cool.
That's why I like
looking at them, and I want to hold one, but everything in me is screaming, "Don't do it! Don't do it!"
That's why I like these small ones, though, that are like once you get past that, don't do it, whatever. With these, when you see them and you look at them and you're like, even if that thing bit me,
Yeah, it's so
That wouldn't
small.
even hurt, you know?
Well, like
It's not
one
gonna do
time, this
much.
garter snake, I had this garter snake that was coiled up on a rock out by my stairs, and I saw it, but I saw it too late, and my dog was with me, and he saw it at the exact same time I did, and he put his nose down to sniff it, you know,
Mm.
and the thing just jumped up and bit him right in the nose, and I saw its two tiny little fangs go right into his nose. I mean, it was a little snake, you know, and his nose started to bleed. Like it backed
Oh, yeah,
off real
I mean,
quick.
they'll get you. I mean, they'll get a little
Oh, I
puncture to
felt
it.
so bad
It's
for
just
the
not
dog because he was being nice. He was just trying to say hi, and I was like, "Damn,
I got
damn,
nailed by a
snake."
I got nailed by a water moccasin one time. You know, I was cutting through a field, and you know, I was in a hurry, so I didn't wear any like heavy boots or anything. I was just cutting through, and it was raining. So you know, snakes, like they have this smell. You can smell them in the area. You know, they smell like cantaloupe. You know, it's kind of
Weird.
yeah. It's just got this weird musk. But it was raining. It pushes the smell down, and you can't hear them. You can always usually hear them when they slide up on there. So I went and I was going to cross over this little area that was flooded out. right when I walked up over it, I saw that freaking snake there, and it was aggressive. I'd walked right up on top of it, so it went to strike right away. And I got my foot up, and this thing, I mean, it was in a bad mood. It struck once, bam, hit the bottom of my shoe. Twice,
Ooh.
right after it, bam, hit my shoe again. And
Oh.
then, you know, I was trying to adjust, and I slipped because it was
Oh no.
it was raining. Yeah, third time, bam, got me right on my inner ankle.
Dang.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Very
Are they
painful.
poisonous?
Yes, very much so.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was not
Dang.
fun. Yeah, but I mean, I thought it would be worse, just to be honest. It wasn't fun, but
Scary.
yeah, in my mind, I thought it would be a lot worse. But I thought of all things, like stupid thing, I was like, man, are you kidding me? Of all the snakes I've caught and everything else, I was like, man, I should have just caught it. You know, I would have been better off
Mhm.
than doing that. But I walked
Yikes.
right over. I almost stepped on it. So yeah, but I like something like a little king snake. Those things are said, even if they bite you, it's nothing really that bad. It's not fun. You know,
Is
nothing biting you is fun, but
is your little king snake gonna get much bigger?
they don't get too big, you know, not badly. But this will be a good one. Like it likes to be held, so you know, it enjoys
I
that.
had a piano teacher named Mr. Bayshore who had snakes in his house, and he had like lots of them, big ones.
Mhm.
And one of these was a black snake. I don't know what kind it was. It might have been a black snake. I think there is a snake called the black snake. But he used to let it sit around his neck when we would do piano lessons, right? And this thing, we're in his little room and the door was open and the snake was kind of slithering around on his neck and it kind of went off behind him, but he was still on his shoulder and it closed the door behind him.
That's wild.
I know. This with its head, it like pushed the door
Pushed it over.
closed. And I saw that happen and I was like, what the heck? Oh my God. He's locking me in. Is he gonna eat me now? Like what is happening?
He's like, welcome. I thought when I got home, I thought, man, I'm gonna go through that freaking transcript, and then that stupid mess that LP dropped. I was like, no, I think I want to do that because
Yeah.
that's amazing. I mean, she, you know, her wording in that is it's so incredible. She's saying, well, yeah, he ghost wrote. That's saying he wrote it. He wrote the whole damn thing because
Yeah.
that's what a ghostwriter is. You
The
know,
thing
they're
is
not.
that here's what I'm not clear on. I've seen conflicting information about that. So pro se litigants can have help from attorneys,
Sure. Mhm.
but I think in Florida they have to disclose it.
That's what I've heard. They're supposed to disclose it.
But then but in federal court, I think they don't have to. I don't know. It's weird. I
Well, the
can't
thing,
get a straight answer on it. I can't get a straight answer. So I do think this is going to be an argument. I don't think it's a slam dunk case. I think there will be arguments for both sides here.
I think the argument comes in. It's not just with the writing of this, but he's acting as a lawyer, because behind the scenes he's arguing the merits of cases. Now, when you take everything, the totality of everything that he's doing, he's writing all of their filing. He's right out. You can look at that. That is a Bruce filing. We've known that. She admitted that this was drafted with the assistance of. So that's noted. So we know he wrote that freaking filing there.
Oh,
Then,
I think I found the answer. Finally, I finally asked the right question.
Okay.
That's the issue. Generally, pro se litigants can get help in Florida from Florida attorneys.
Yeah, from the outside. Yeah.
But they can't get help from out-of-state attorneys. An attorney who is not licensed in Florida cannot provide legal assistance to pro se litigants in Florida matters without risking the unlicensed practice of law violations, potential disciplinary action, or criminal penalties under the statute 454.23, and this includes out-of-state attorneys. Even if they're licensed elsewhere, they cannot do that. They cannot advise, they cannot draft documents, or appear in Florida courts unless they seek pro hoc vice admission.
So, I mean, what's crazy about that then, they cannot advise. Wouldn't that be a problem for all the cases, since they had, that sounds like
except in federal, but
federal.
No, because he had, so in the thumbnail, in the original thumbnail and the trespass case, he had they had a Florida attorney, and that Florida attorney can use outside counsel from another state as long as they're not the attorney of record. So I think he was covered on that because he was acting as
what this unveils for everybody out there. If a lot of people treated it like conspiracy, like, hey, Bruce isn't really doing all of this stuff. It's just he's a convenient scapegoat for this. No, he's been doing a lot. Like, he is responsible for a lot, and you can see it. I think the key word in here is obsession. He becomes obsessed with people.
I agree. I think he's very obsessive. I think he's very obsessed with Larry. He's obsessed with Jeremy. He's definitely obsessed with me. He goes through phases, though. His obsession will switch, and he becomes obsessed with someone very deeply. It seems to me that right now his obsession is focused on Larry.
It's just weird. It's weird because the way that he does it, it's like it's a vindictive type of obsession, and it's like, I'll do anything to get even. The perceived slights off of this stuff. Some of them, wow, like the Larry thing. Before, what kicked it up was being told no. It was just being told no. Yeah, I'm not going to have you on. That was just such an ego blow that he decided to try to burn him down. And that's what it very well looks like. He's like, no, of course not. He gave opinions I don't like to. Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't like being told that he's wrong. He doesn't like being told no. He's very much like Lynette. She doesn't like being told no either. A lot of these people do. Lips is the same way. You tell her no, and she goes on a rampage against you.
The thing with Lynette that, again, I was sitting here talking about cases imploding, and what really has to happen before she questions these people, legitimately questions what's going on. I mean, just, with the bankruptcy, for example, when you look at that bankruptcy, if it goes sideways for her, and it may well go sideways for her, she has the chance of losing everything, and that would be because of the people that she'd surrendered. It's not just her. She wouldn't have gone this path by herself. There's no way she would have gone bankruptcy path. She's opened herself up to potentially not just losing and being told, nope, you can't write off this stuff, but potentially losing land and more. I mean, if she does that, God, that's a mess. At what point do you say, man, these people have wronged me? You know, again, I'm not trying to minimize what she's done either, but
Oh
God,
no, she's
when,
got completely screwed. I often wonder the same thing about Laura Owens. When is she going to realize that David Gingras, her attorney, got her indicted? Like, it's because of what he did and the way he so poorly represented her that he got her indicted. She has a hell of a case against him, and I think that Lynette is going to have a hell of a case against Bruce too.
yeah, I
She
think
has a hell of a case against Lisa. She has a
she
hell of a
does
case
indeed.
against a lot of these people. And probably this saran wrap guy too. He took $6,000 and didn't even turn paperwork in on time. Lynette, why are you allowing this? Why aren't you telling the bankruptcy court that what he did? Maybe the bankruptcy attorney will refer him to the bar. He needs to be referred to the bar for what he did by screwing up your bankruptcy.
Because she's got to be in this weird house of cards where that guy doesn't represent Lynette. He feels like he works for Bruce. Recruited these people. He absolutely recruited any of these. He searched them out. He paid that guy to become involved when he said, of course, he was doing something else.
That's where he went, to the creepy tickler.
But you got to wonder, like, you know, when that's happening, who do these people answer to? Do they really answer to her? Or
No.
do they answer to someone else? Like,
He's
that's
the one
weird.
who's been calling all the shots. He's the one organizing all this. He's the one who told her to declare bankruptcy and all of these lawsuits would just go away. No, that's not true. And Lynette, don't listen to me. Go to Google, okay? Just go on Google and type in, will I be released from a defamation case if I declare bankruptcy? And you see what it says. Go read the sources online for that question. Will I be released from a defamation case against me if I declare bankruptcy? It's going to tell you no. So maybe if you don't believe us, maybe you'll believe Google.
Yeah, well, you think like looking this up, yeah, because for what you just noted, will I be released from a defamation case against me if I declare bankruptcy? You know, straight up. The AI will be like, no, no,
you
filing
won't.
for bankruptcy, that will automatically, because again, as it's noting, and we've noted this many times to you, the actions in defamation would be willful and malicious. If they are considered willful and malicious, you can't discharge it. You know, you owe if
through bankruptcy.
That's what she doesn't seem to get. Yes, the phone companies you listed, 100%.
100%. Yep. You'll get out of that. Credit card companies, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Any
medical,
kind of
anything like
medical, that kind of stuff. Yes, that's what bankruptcy is for. And it's a good thing that we have it, because sometimes that needs to happen, right? If you can't pay your bills. But it is not for relieving you of the accountability of malicious and willful acts. So you can't get out of that. And if he gave you that advice and he told you that you could, and he told you that the federal case and the other cases would go away, he lied, and he knowingly lied to you. I don't believe for one second he didn't know this. So what are you going to do about that? He lied to you. This bankruptcy thing is not going to save you from these cases. It just isn't. Whether or not it goes through, you're still going to be on the hook.
It just amazes me. Like she again, she risks everything. It's like gambling with no upside.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going to a casino, flopping down your money, but having no way for you to really win. When you look at it again, there is no real upside. I mean, again, if she wants to, I guess you could say if she wanted to write off some of the debt she has, okay, I guess that could be an upside. But as far as cases are concerned, I can't see it. And, you know, it's exposed her. and again, she needs to take in.
You know what I think? It just hit me. Oh my God. Could he be this sick? If he really is that obsessed with Jeremy Hales, what Bruce's goal might be is to just make it as painful and as long for Jeremy Hales as possible, which I think is what his strategy always has been, to delay, increase costs. By him having Lynette declare bankruptcy and then failing to file the paperwork, and then the bankruptcy is off, and then refiling the paperwork, and now it's on again, all that does is stretch it out. And it makes it so that Jeremy Hales is harmed by it, and he doesn't care about Lynette. He doesn't care that she's going to be ultimately harmed by it too, because this was never about her. This was always about him trying to make a name for himself and for his obsession with Jeremy Hales and trying to hurt him. I think he did this on purpose.
I've wondered really if her being harmed as the collateral damage thing, if that would really matter at all. Because I feel like at certain points, I for real, when I was looking at this stuff, I thought, he can't. Is he doing this like vindictively to her? I mean, some of these decisions.
No, I think he doesn't care what happens to her. I don't necessarily think that he vindictively, like he has any malice against her. I just think he doesn't care. He has malice against Jeremy Hales. He has malice against us. Whatever he can do to harm Jeremy Hales, I think, is what he's doing. That's what it looks like. And it doesn't matter if she gets harmed in the process. And she is being harmed in this process. He is the one doing the harm. If I come at this from a perspective where I don't know anything about this case, right? I'm not friends with Jeremy Hales. I don't know anybody. And I look and see what he's done. I'm saying this lawyer has truly harmed this litigant. Whether or not she did anything wrong in the underlying cases, her legal team has been very injurious to her. Nothing they have done has helped her in any way that I can see. I can't see any. Can you think of anything that they've done that has helped her?
No. I mean, all they've done.
There's got to be something.
Well, no, when they talked about victories, I mean, you think about what they claimed as victories. They claimed delays. That the majority of everything that they've done has been, well, we've delayed the case. That's what they've held up. Because,
and I don't know how that helps her. That actually keeps her in it longer. It keeps the stress going. So that doesn't help her in any way.
More evidence too. Because when you think about it, like if they would have just gone through and fed one straight through, you'd have never heard anything from Shara. You'd have never looked at all the evidence that has been compiled since then. And it is an amazing amount of evidence. Every day that they delay, they should have already pushed this through. But she really does think that they're going to be able to write off all of that debt. She's going to get to ride off into the sunset somehow. Man, Lynette, again, when she considers us all, you can tell from her postings, she considers us the enemy, and that's a damn shame. I believe you're in the wrong 100%, but I believe these people are wronging her too. They've made it worse. They wronged Jeremy Hales, and they're wronging her.
I think she's in the wrong also in the case, but I also don't want to see anybody getting used like this by attorneys, bad attorneys, doing bad things to people is gross. If she had a good attorney, she did have one good attorney, two good attorneys. She had Silverman, who did the best thing for her he could have done, which is make a deal, get Jeremy to drop. She was going to dismiss the PO against him, and he dropped the attorney's fees against her. That was a good deal for her. That he did what every lawyer is supposed to do. He made the deal that got her out of it with no money, right?
That was amazing, by the way.
I can't believe he agreed to it, to tell you the truth. I'm shocked he agreed to it. But then she also had Sean Martin in Ohio, who also, think what you want to think about him, but he did what he was supposed to do there. He did his best.
Well, he also told her to shut up.
Told her to shut up. Yeah. Be quiet. Don't talk. And the more she talked in that case, the bigger trouble she got in. That was the right call. So she had two good attorneys. So now Bruce badmouthed them, though, and makes it sound like they did something really wrong. If I were her, I'll just tell you what I would do if I were her. If I were her, I would throw myself at the mercy of Josh Silverman. I would apologize like crazy. I would beg him to take me back. Because what you need in Levy County is a Levy County attorney. and at least Silverman knows something about this case, I would beg him to take me back, and I would sell everything I could to pay for whatever fee he wanted to represent me in a hearing. You want an attorney who is actually in that courthouse every day, dealing with those judges, has a relationship with those people, and isn't somebody who comes in from Connecticut or Massachusetts or, Slovenia or wherever the fuck and screws up your case.
Right. Well, and I mean, some of these people, when they come in, they're pretending to be your friend and more. I get too. You can be at that moment where you're like, oh, well, what choice do I have? Well, you got a lot of choices, actually. The best choice isn't taking on liability and sinking yourself. And I mean, these people are liability. Like, they absolutely are. I can't believe, like, again, the $6,000 mismanagement with promises. You think about the damage that was done by that bankruptcy move and everything that came out of it. When they fundraised that, it finally blew up the fundraising to the point people will not do anything for her anymore. It started waves where she was asking questions about different things that were attached to, people that gave were asking questions. You have 2L blow up. I mean, all of it finally gets to this certain point. And she should, like I said, she should look at it, because it didn't just cost her in that moment. It cost her potentially, it potentially cost her the Ohio lawyer that they were trying to push for. It potentially cost her lawyers in the future, any type of help. Oh,
Think about the things that Bruce said about Silverman publicly.
Yeah.
So Silverman's probably never going to help her again, because this guy went after his career. And imagine what Bruce sent him in emails. How much you want to bet he sent him aggressive emails, just like he sent to Sean Martin and all the other lawyers, like he sent to Randy Shockett. He probably did the same thing to, he did the same thing to Sean Martin. We've seen the email. So, and we've heard him talking about how Sean Martin is engaged in malpractice, which is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
No,
and they'll
didn't.
sue him. They're talking about, well, it's crazy considering what Bruce has done, and then to say, well, you can sue these people.
He's telling her that everybody else is to blame, and it's his behavior and his actions that have gotten. If she is on a blacklist for lawyers in Levy County, he's the reason. Yep. He has burned bridges. Remember that lawyer that he went after, the Miami lawyer who was helping HG's family? Like, he goes after everybody in her name, and she's allowed it. It is really, it's bad. And I do feel a little bit bad for her. There are consequences for what she did, but they wouldn't be this big if he had not been involved. If she had really fired him, like she should have fired him a long time ago and cut ties completely. Because this guy is not in it to help you, Lynette. He's in it for his own weird reasons. He's got problems, a lot of problems.
Better for herself either. When she's like, oh, this Mr. Hales, he's trying to destroy me and my child and Mr. Cook for, writing the courts and saying this kind of shit too. There are certain sentences, like, I would say maybe again proof some of the stuff that you're right, because when you read through this, some of it it sounds just crazy.
Am I the only one who can't see anything on the screen? It looked black to me. Is that my StreamYard or is that you? That was weird. It didn't show up, but maybe it's just me. Yeah, the chat says it wasn't. There it is. Okay, now it loaded.
I had to hit it again, but sometimes it does it. Yeah, because it says it was loaded, but I was like,
it did say it was loading, and then it didn't show up. It was weird.
It didn't show? All right, yeah. Well, you remember it was having weird problems for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole thing where she, where she's going, hey, Jeremy Hale's trying to destroy me, my child, Mr. Cook. It's like, wow, maybe you shouldn't write the court outside of motions and just make these accusations, because this kind of stuff, again, she says, well, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how to do this properly. Well, that doesn't matter. The ignorance
you heard Judge Grebe. He said, you are acting, I have to treat you just like any lawyer. You are representing yourself pro se. I have to treat you like a lawyer. That is the law. So if you don't know how to do these things, I suggest you go get yourself a lawyer. And please, people, I know it's funny to watch pro se litigants, but my advice to everybody always, including Lynette, is to get a lawyer. Never, ever represent yourself in court. Don't do it. It's so dangerous. You don't know the procedure, and you will lose because you don't know procedure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people and lawyers want to win on, well, good lawyers want to win on merit. They don't want to just crush you because you're ignorant, but they're definitely going to take advantage of it. I mean, if you're going to step out and God, some of the stuff she writes though, like this sentence is amazing to me. She says, like the back end of this is amazing. Listen to this. You're allowing these people to abuse me, use me, hurt me, to find me liable, and to take away my life is killing me physically. To continue. Now look at this. It's killing me physically to continue to lie and manipulate the judicial system.
I saw that earlier. It's like she can't help it. She tells on herself.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, "Oh, it's killing me physically to continue to lie to you and manipulate you."
Although there are times when I think she believes what she's saying, like Laura Owens does. While Laura doesn't, she knows she was never pregnant. She does believe her stories about what she's suffered. She believes that wholeheartedly. I'm sure of it, and I think Lynette does too. I don't think she can see clearly. And I don't know if it's like a type of a learning disability maybe, but I don't think that she understands clearly who's doing what. Because for one, she for sure never takes any responsibility for the things she does that makes her life more difficult. But she doesn't seem to realize how much damage Bruce has done to her. And these other idiots, the journalists for hire, and the other people who have done what they're doing. I can't believe they're going after Judge Grebe now. Like, for what purpose?
Crazy.
What has the judge actually done? Except for the thing that all judges do, which is to tell the winning lawyer to write the order so that it can save them 20 minutes at the end of the day. What?
I just, it amazes me that they didn't just write that, but they wrote it with all the hallmarks of a Bruce statement. Oh, he's committing polymop. What? Why would you write this? Oh my God.
Why would they? Why would they adopt that stupid acronym, which isn't a thing? No one understands what they're saying.
That's because,
but it's okay because only 3 people read it.
Yeah, for real. Well, and those 3 people actually are, I believe, them and Marla. That's really, I think they read their own thing because they had 5 likes. And again, I looking through the accounts, I think it's them and Marla. I think that was the only real ones. Because a lot of their other articles are just them, basically. You'll find them, and if you track back, you'll find some very sketchy accounts. Yeah, some very. All right, I'm going to finish super chat.
All right, I got to run. No, I'll run. I'll see you.
All right, see you. All right. Okay, that was a interesting addition. That was a good point too. Her talking about the orders. And how an order comes up. Ultimately, if they had a problem too, Bruce, if he wanted to argue this case, he should have just joined in. He should have, should have asked for permission to join in pro se again, and we could have seen how that crazy goes. Like I said, I'm kind of looking forward to another case with more Bruce filings in them. If that one goes forward, we may get some more Bruce filings. Come on, Bruce, you got to write your own filings. You're the best lawyer ever, so you represent yourself. Like all the people that you know. He won't, of course, but I wonder if we'll get his filings. Yamadan, thanks for the 3 months. The calendar says 52 years old today. My body, it says I'm 82. I know that feeling there. My mind says 12 some days too. Yes, I know that. By the way, you need a birthday song, of course. I know that feeling, man. I really do. I hear you. Some days I'm like, oh my God. Here we go.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
From both of us to you.
Oh, everybody.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
May all your dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
Happy birthday! We love to have you here. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Here's to another year.
Another year. Heck yeah. Appreciate you too. I hope you've had a great one. Tila, thanks for the 48 months, baby. That's amazing. Hi from Finland. 4 freaking years. That's awesome. That is. Thank you. Again, I cannot express that enough. Thank you. And greetings return, too. I love that we are worldwide. I love it. Cindy, thanks for the 18 months. Always happy when listening to your show. Well, I am happy that you are here, and I'm happy to hang out with you folks. I hate doctor appointment days, so I always like to end them like this. It's always better. Janice, thanks for the 10 every time. I think Lynette can't do anything stupider. She says, hold my zennies and does this. Indeed. Indeed. It does feel like it, doesn't it? Saggy old one. Man, I saw the 5 giftos pop in there. So they drop in, and that's beautiful. Like I said, I love it when they get hit with those gifted memberships, and they love it. So thank you. Jack's mom, thanks for the 2. I hope they send this one to Judge. I hope they send this. I've had one judge. The courtroom. No, this is in front of Grabe. Like that'll be interesting because Grabe, he's been pretty stern so far. So this stuff should be kind of interesting. We'll see. We'll see. I like him much better than Bolitho had on. What's up? Maybe not. What's up? Thank you for the 2 there. Happy 50th anniversary, Shirley. You know, Shirley, I do not have an anniversary song. I should have one for sure. But I'm going to bust out a birthday song anyway. Because you know what? It's the birthday of your anniversary. So for real, 50th anniversary is amazing, by the way. So I want to bust out some songs.
Happy birthday!
Happy anniversary! That's right.
From
all of
us to you.
50th anniversary. Amazing. Happy anniversary. Happiest.
May all your
dreams come true. Happy anniversary.
We love to have you here. Happy
anniversary.
Here's to
100,000 more years. No, for real. I hope you all have plenty more, not just years, but good years. You know, it's beautiful. I love it. I love when people find some connection in life. And, it lasts. It's amazing. It's a testament. So, like I said, love it. Thank you. Thank you, maybe not, for pointing that out to Bonnie. Thanks for the 5. The judge hasn't ruled on the case because LMNOP or Bruce's delay schemes. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. That's actually a good point. The judge can't do anything until after the bankruptcy case. Yeah, you have they're still going to have a hearing for the stuff with the Bruce portion. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And again, I'm curious about the bankruptcy. I really am. The more I look at the bankruptcy, the more I think, man, the stakes, again, I don't know where they are with certain things. Again, we don't know. There's specifics that will come up, but you don't know a lot of the stuff that's probably happening with it, because with these cases, you have you have people that are connected, and you find out you find out pretty much everything that happens with them. But bankruptcy is different. A lot of stuff is going to happen behind the scenes, and I'm really curious to see how some of that fleshes out. Because, like I said, she took a big risk with this, and it's like an all-in gamble. That's what it reminds me of, and I'm having a lot of difficulty seeing the upside. So we'll say there. What's up, Jody? Thanks for the 2 there. Does the ecosystem have nicknames for you and Megan? Sometimes, I guess. They're not very good at it, It's kind of like their mastery of insult. 1 second. I had to call for a second. Oh, I got to cough again. Man, I had some water and it went down wrong. But their mastery of insults was with Rosalind. Instead of Rosalind Duke, it was Rosalind Puke. That's how amazing they are. So they have nicknames. I have no idea. They try sometimes, but it's usually not good. Jack's mom, thanks for the 2 there. She missed a comma after her Sue. Yeah, she missed a lot of punctuation in there too. You know what I mean? It's pretty bad. Thank you too, Jack's mom. I appreciate you. Andre, thanks for the 2. LP lost brain cells that you can't afford to use. It feels like that. It does. It feels like that sometimes, for sure. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. When Lynette first moved on to the property, there was a dilapidated house that was unlivable. It was torn down. That's when the 10 panels came from. Oh, the 10 was a room. I see. I wasn't sure how the very beginning played out, so that's actually quite interesting. Thanks for the 20. Oh, for my cuddly tug a nut. Oh, that's so sweet. Give us 2 huggles. That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you, my friends. Cuddly. Been called many things, not usually cuddly. That's awesome. 10 Soul. Thank you. The 50 there. Thank you. To help with whatever you need. Always here for you. Keep it up. Love the channel. Well, I appreciate that. I very, very much do. Thank you. Like all you folks again. You all make this fun. You make it's not like I do this. It's a job. I still have not been able to comprehend doing this as a job. It's amazing. And like I said, I appreciate you all allowing that to happen. So thank you. What's up, Gil? Thank you for that super sticker there. That's awesome. Like I said, I love those because I love to show them to the girls. Girls love those more than anything. And I always love having at least one, so I can clip it and show it to them. I love to see them. Pickled Tink, thanks for the 2. LMNOP's contributions, her signature. That's right. Indeed. Well, with the ghostwriting, that's kind of what it's saying, isn't it? And yeah, well, you contributed your signature. Red says, thanks for the 10 there. Giving thanks for the talent, giving freely. Spread these breadsticks with butter. Cubed and seasoned. Leave uncovered overnight. Yeah, baby. When ready, add broth, onion, celery, hell, Oreos if you like. Cheers. I don't know if I'll throw them into the Oreos, but the rest, it was starting to sound, I don't know about Oreos with everything, but appreciate it. And thank you. I love it. Thank you for that. That's cool. Mostly harmless, Fuzzball. Thanks for the vibe there. For a minute, I forgot that Bug was at her grandma's. Indeed. Yeah, she went today and actually got a new haircut. She was very excited about that. So she went to grandma's, like she was talking about yesterday, and she gets to spend the night at grandma's. Grandma has she has a hairstylist she likes to go to, and she was like, oh, the little one, she asked if she could get a haircut, I'm like, I don't care, you know, if she wants to go with grandma, just like, and you know, be like grandma and go get a haircut too, and that's okay. So they went, had haircuts, and it's the whole nine. So she enjoys it. It's funny, the little one really likes going the girly route, you know. The older one sometimes, but the little one, she really likes going the girly route. I like it. Like I said, she's cute. She was wearing a dress. She picked out a dress today to wear. It was like a solid yellow, like an Easter dress type. It was very cute too. Tracy dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Tracy. I saw those fall into and appreciate that. You know, I always love seeing that because again, it helps out the channel, but it also it hooks other people up and they love it. So thank you. You're right. Call it Little Umbrella Snake or Elvis. I'll see what the girls want to call it. Because ultimately, I'll just call it, you know, when I refer to it as I'll call it the snake. You know, so the girls will give it a name. That's a bit, but I like that. You know, we can go with Little Umbrella Snake or Elvis. Whichever. He's gonna be like Slim, baby. Patrick, thanks for the vibe. The problem with Silverman, he was brought in to limit the damage to his friend Judge Grudge. He, like everyone else, could care less about LP. I feel like with LP, I mean, ultimately, nobody gave LP the best advice. Walk away. You know, it's done. Just leave. Just walk it away from it. And now it becomes a mess, you know. Christine, thanks for the vibe. Max Lab wants to know if trustees in the PR inspect property for value. I don't know if they do property inspection. I don't know about that at all. I would think they would I think they would evaluate property off of just there. Again, maybe though. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Actually, that'll be something I'll ask about that. You know, I'll ask about that because that's an area commission. I don't know. Yeah, that's what Janice also thinks there. From Max Lab, the bankruptcy trustee can send someone to LP property to inspect everything on the property. Oh yeah, I found out there's no house to qualify. Yeah, that's what. Okay, so they can. That's what I was saying. They could look up, and they can make a determination over it because this is a matter that's being pushed, and under law, again, it's you know. I'm sure that like for Jerome and LP, Bruce and all them, they'll say, "Oh, it's just you know, if Session he's trying to do this or that." She's trying to write off him being able to take her to court and to win. She's trying to shortcut it. She's not trying to provide any evidence. She's not trying to do anything. She's just trying to win. And again, I'm not questioning the move. I would try to win too, but it's not going to work. You know, this is such a stupid thing. And they blame Jeremy for his response to it, but they brought this up. When they eventually get hit with something is going to go bad in the bankruptcy. It's just how bad will it go? Like I said, I have not decided in here. Like, I honestly think the more I look at it, yes, she can lose her property. Looking at the rules and everything else and talking to people, yes, she can lose it. And that is wild to think. You know, because again, it's not just a small talking point. It's not blowing hot air. It's not something that's meant to, oh, you know, that's something that really can happen. And she brought that on. It blows my mind there. Let's see. Also, let me hit everybody through here. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Hey, I'm not sure again when these come through, like somebody's name on it. So I'll use initials for people when I read them. B You know who I'm talking about there. You noted that you could not get super chats to work. You sent 10 this way. Well, that's awesome. First of all, you send it this way. It works just like super chats, except with PayPal, actually, they take less. So this is, that is a helpful way too. So thank you going that way as well. Sending it that way. First of all, appreciate it. It's right in. I can take that out and tomorrow I'm probably going to go somewhere with the girls. So that'll turn into ice cream money or whatever right off the bat. So thank you there. Emma, thank you for the 5 there. No need to read out yesterday's PayPal. Yeah, I did see it. I marked it for tonight. It'll still probably get read anyway because it's on the list because there were 2 that ended up rolling in and I'll catch them. But add this 5 and buy something fun. Well, I appreciate that, and I do, Emma. I appreciate you. I saw that right at the end. You know what sucks with PayPal too? The only thing I love, first of all, I love that setup. But if I want to write and be like, "Yo, thank you," it won't deliver to you. So because I saw that and I missed it, and I was like, "Oh man, apologies, I missed you there." And I noticed that it bounced it as undeliverable, and I was like, "Well, okay, there. Wow, here's a man. That's amazing." Patricia, sent a hundo. Thank you for that. That's amazing there. Breadstick money for your vehicle, my caro. Well, thank you there. I appreciate it. That's amazing. Thank you. I'm very well again. I appreciate you all more than I can say. I'm at a loss for words sometimes with it all. It's amazing when you sat down and noticed just how many good people, nice people there are out there, and how much good they do for you. Thank you. Let's see here. Cheryl, too. Cheryl, I noticed this come in after the live stream last night. I wanted to hit this. Thank you. You sent 5. There wasn't a statement. Man, that is a statement by itself. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And also, yeah, with Emma, also, I noticed this here, and I hope, when I was looking through this, I noticed you had to go get a tetanus shot because of what happened here. I don't know if you know where you said I don't have to read that. I don't know if you don't want me to. I just wanted to wish you a speedy recovery. I hope you are doing okay. It sounded like a lot happened, and we all have these days, man, sometimes. And I think sometimes with those days, one of the things that makes it better is just getting together and having fun, So I appreciate you on that. All right. I'm going to take it here. I don't know who's live right now. Let's see. Is anybody? Let me check something real quick. Let me see who's live real fast. Is Jay, by the way. So yeah, Jay's live. I'm gonna pull up Jay. I'm gonna send you guys over there. Give me 1 second. Jay last night, if you missed out on the insanity, so Jay last night had a stream set up, right? And he doesn't start his stream. And everybody's like, what the heck is going on? Right? I mean, myself included. I hit up him and he didn't respond. I hit up a couple other people that are friends of his. I was like, where the heck is Jay? Is he okay? Has anything happened? And nobody could get a hold of him. Everybody was like, oh my God, I hope everything's okay. Yeah, it ended up, he overslept. So it turned out to at least be a good thing, like he wasn't hurt or anything. But I was like, man, the great thing that you notice in stuff like that, though, is everybody gets together and they give a crap about each other. So that, that was pretty nice to see play out. All the people like that, they gave a crap about Jay and we're checking on him, because there are a lot of people that were like, man, I hope he's okay. If he's hurt himself, they were like, if he's hurt himself, I'm going to kill him. I was like, yeah, that's the right motivation there. But I'm sending you to Jay. Go rate it. Tell him Tug sent you. Appreciate it. And we'll see you.